This is the greatest Football Manager mod ever. We should of course be gearing up for FM25 about now, so thankfully we've got the mad scientist to take our minds off the delay blues. Yep, the 9495 database is here, and this retro database is even bigger and better than any of the previous ones. Yes, we've got the classic Premier League of 22 teams, Man United coming off the back of 2 titles, Sir Alex at the helm, and a small but impressive squad. Blackburn bankrolled by Jack Walker, managed by Kenny Dalglish, and with a prime Alan Shearer up front. We've got Newcastle's gung-ho attack. Kevin Keegan will love this, absolutely love it. And Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea all mid-table drifters. Great days. The initial release also includes the Football League First Division, the top 2 divisions in Italy to relive the Golazzo days of Football Italia, and the top divisions from Spain, Germany, France, the Netherlands, and Scotland. So far so retro database, but what makes this really stand out is the competition formats. At the end of Season 1, the Premier League will drop from 22 teams to 20 as it did in real life. Likewise, Scotland will expand from 10 to 12 in the Premier Division. We have the return of the classic mid-90s Champions League format, 4 groups of 4, only 1 team from each nation, no massive league table, no 4 or 5 representatives from the same division. We've also got the return of the UEFA Cup as a knockout competition. One for you football purists out there, the Cup Winners' Cup. Each round played over 2 legs, straight knockout. And there's even some love for international football with a 16-nation Euros and a 32-nation World Cup. This is going to be amazing. The 9495 database is available right now in early access for paid supporters of the Mad Scientist. I've left a link to his channel in the description. So how do you get your hands on it? Head over to the Mad Scientist Patreon page and join at any tier. You can then download the editor file or the save game file if you prefer. The editor data FMF file, that goes in Documents, Sports Interactive, Football Manager 2024, Editor Data. You then choose Start New Game, Career Mode, make sure you're on the latest 24.3 update and click the drop down menu. Just choose the 9495 database and make sure any other files like the 24-25 season update are deselected. And also check that you've clicked the subscribe button while you're here. You should also make sure you start with the original database. Just remember this part might take a bit longer than normal as the game unpacks all of those database changes. And from here it's just like setting up a normal game. Just remember that only the top 2 divisions of England and Italy, plus the top divisions of Scotland, Spain, the Netherlands, Germany and France are playable at this time, and then you're ready to click Start Game. Now again, the one thing the retro database can't change is the date, and again this part may take a little bit longer than usual. If however you chose the save game version, then it's a much simpler process. Simply select the earlyaccess.fm file and copy that over to your Documents folder. So again, that's Documents, Sports Interactive, Football Manager 2024, and this time we drop it in Games. And then when you come into Football Manager, you just click here on Load Game, and as long as you haven't changed the name, there it is, 1994-95 DB Early Access, and then just click Load. Then you get prompted to add your manager, and you're off. You can even manage Wimbledon if you want. Which team are you going to manage? Let me know in the comments. So our game is all set up, but how do we make it look more retro? It's time to shear the years off the iconic players, revive the classic Premier League logo, bring back the old school Villa and Everton club crests, make retro football shirts relevant again, and make Kenilworth Road... Wait, that's just the same. It's time for some graphics packs. A quick note before we proceed. Getting access to these packs does involve some extra cost beyond the basic membership for the Mad Scientist. First, the player facepack. To get those, you have to be a silver member. You then get a link to download this facepack. So here I've downloaded and unzipped the facepack. So then we need to copy that and head over to the Documents folder, Football Manager 2024 Graphics. Now, this is usually full, of course, of the player packs and logos for my FM24 saves. But for now, I've backed those all up to my external SSD, because if we leave them here, it's just going to cause problems and it's going to cause clashes. So now we're pasting that face pack in, but what about retro club and competition logos, old school stadiums and throwback trophies? For those, you're going to have to pay to join Mr. Tinney's Patreon at the FM24 tier. That will give you access to all of those logos and all of those graphics packs. Also the Regen mod, but more on that later. So you see now I've downloaded and unzipped folders for kits, logos, stadiums and trophies. So we're just going to copy those over to that same graphics folder where we put the player faces, which takes a bloody long time. Okay, so now all those are copied over. You go back to your game, and there are 2 ways we can do this. In the game, you come and click on Options, and you go down to Preferences, and then you just click on Reload Skin. Or on the start screen, you can do the same thing. You can go to Preferences, and you can hit Reload Skin, Hitting clear cache might help, but do remember these graphics packs changes will affect all of your saves. So if at any point you want to do a non-retro save, you're going to have to put all the original face packs back and remove all of the retro ones. And there you go, we now see everything as it should be. Club badges, competition logos, kits. We've got the old stadiums back like the Dell, Arsenal at Highbury, and with that classic JVC sponsor. And Kenilworth Road, well, still looks the same. So our 94-95 database is now all ready to go. But how does it run on a long-term save? Do the likes of Beckham, Messi and Ronaldo come in as Zidane, Maldini and the original Ronaldo retire? Well, yes, they can do, with a little bit of extra modding. We need to head back to Mr. Tinney's page. If you've already signed up for the graphics packs and the FM24 pack, you will already have access to the Regen mod. If you haven't done it yet, you're going to need to do it now. So once you've unzipped it, you'll have a folder like this. There's a document here explaining exactly what I'm about to show you. Just as a reminder, what I'm about to show you applies to the Steam PC version because that's what I own. Mac users, Epic Games users, you're going to have to go over to Mr. Tinney's page where you'll find the exact instructions. Anyway, most of you are going to need to navigate to the following: program files, x86, Steam and Steam apps, common. Here you'll find Football Manager 2024. We're only halfway there. Data, database, DB. Then you want to come down to 2430, the folder at the bottom. Then go to EDT and permanent. Now there are two files here that we want to overwrite: Sugar Daddy and support staff. I recommend you back these up first, so I'm going to cut and paste these over to that external drive folder where I've put all the graphics packs. There we go. And in the future, if you want to start a regular game of FM24, you're going to have to put those two files back. Otherwise, you'll be getting like young Zlatan, Ronaldinho and Wayne Rooney popping up in your save. Actually, that could make an interesting what-if scenario. Anyway, here I've got the files that I downloaded from Mr. Tinney, so we're just going to copy those over to that same folder that we just removed the original files from, and then we start a new game, just like we did back at the start of this tutorial. Career mode, choosing the 24.30 update and making sure that you've just got that 1994-95 database early access file selected. And then you just hit confirm. Note that this Regen mod will only work when you're setting up a new game with the editor data file. It will not work with any save files. So just to show you how all of that works, I'm here on the first day of a new game. Now we come to a team like West Ham. We see in their under 21 squad, they've got the likes of Frank Lampard, and in the under 18s, they've got Rio Ferdinand. But if we come and take a look at the Liverpool team at the time, and we go down to their youth teams, we see the likes of Michael Owen, Jamie Carragher. They're not here yet. Now I say Owen and Carragher because if we jump ahead one season, here's Jamie Carragher. We see he's injured already. Down at the bottom of the list alongside Ian Rush and Robbie Fowler, we've got a younger Michael Owen. And if you're wondering how to get the real player faces on these regens, there is a way to do it. There is a 94-95 regen face pack available from Mr. Tinney, but it's very complicated. So I'll leave a link down to Mr. Tinney's video where he can talk you through it. So just to give you an idea of how this all works, I've simmed forward 10 seasons into the future, so 2004, 2005. And oh look, here we've got a young wonder kid, Cristiano Ronaldo. Although he's at Benfica, he has actually transferred to Man United in this game, gone back to Portugal on loan. Ashley Cole's also here, age 23, although he made the jump this time to Liverpool rather than Chelsea. Also at Liverpool, Zlatan, who came here via Porto after starting his career at Malmo. This vaguely looks like Wayne Rooney, I guess, who's still at Everton. And we've also got a 16-year-old Messi just out of La Masia at Barcelona. So there you go, that's a full installation guide to this wonderful 94-95 database. And as you can already see, I'm simming into the future, so you come back in the near future to see what happens when we rerun the last 30 years of football.